Okay, hello my dear students, this is Abraham Lincoln, part 3. Okay, the novel which is called Great Men and Women. Okay, as we know that Abraham Lincoln in the White House now, he became a president and he was in the White House with his wife and his children. Now he had a duty as he was a president. Okay. After that, the beginning of the Civil War. The Civil War was very bad war. The Civil War was between Northern and the Southern. It lasted for 4 years. It was a terrible war that many and hundreds and thousands of young men on both sides lost their lives. Okay, from this war, many men worked against Lincoln. He was very sad that he loved the peace, that Abraham loved the people, and he could understand and forgive their weakness. For example, that Abraham Lincoln forgave the weakness of the people, that when a soldier who fell asleep on a guard duty and give him another chance, not shoot him. According to the army, Abraham made a mistake when he forgave the soldier for running away during the battle. Okay, but as we know that the Lincoln loved peace and hated the hatred and the evil things. Okay, Lincoln hated slavery, as we know from the beginning before he became the president, but he believed that slaves should be freed and suddenly should be freed not in the same time or not now, but it took a lot of time. He wanted to keep the Union together, so he wanted to get out the slaves, okay, and all the people became equal, okay. In 1864, Lincoln was elected president again for the second time. He had enemies, okay, who would have liked to see him beaten, that they didn't want him to be a president again. Okay, Lincoln was Lincoln was killed by a young man who was called John Post, who hated the North and he thought that Lincoln was beside the North. The Northern victory made him hurry his plans. He held his pistol against the back of the president's head and fired him. People were very sad and they cried because of his death, and he died. Okay. Now we'll see the summary in the booklet. In 1860, Lincoln was elected president. During his presidency, the Civil War broke out. It was lasted for 4 years. It was between Northern and the Southern. Lincoln freed all the slaves in the states at a war with the Union. During the war, he had been accused of being weak. He loved people and could understand and forgive their weakness. Lincoln was elected for the second time. His mission was to settle between North and South. John Both, who hated the North, had long planned to kill the president. The Northerners' victory made him hurry his plans. Abraham's death was a shock and a great loss to his enemies before his friends. Men wept without shame. Gandhi and Lincoln were similar to a certain extent. Both of them were lawyers, they were both loved and respected by the people, and both of them were shot dead by young people. Okay, now we will say some questions. The first one, what do you know about the Civil War? The war between Northern and Southern, it lasted for 4 years. It was a terrible war and hundreds of young men on both sides lost their lives. Number two, who planned to kill Lincoln and why, and what made him hurry his plans? What was the people's reaction? John Paul, he thought that he hated the Northern. They were very sad and many people cried for his death. Okay, that's all for Abraham Lincoln. Thank you and goodbye.